Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to today's stream. We are going to be preparing for this week's midweek modules using the wonderful I don't know what it's called, Prepared module book, I guess, Prepared 2 by KoboldPress, and we're going to be playing Hell Comes a Glittering. Hey Sheena, hey Val, and hey Mad Rogue, good to see you all in chat. Let's get a little window, a little insight into how I prep these things, whilst we dance, of course. And apologies if there's anything wrong with this overlay. I literally just made it in about 10 minutes because I realised I'd accidentally deleted it to make a World of Warcraft one instead. You know that thing where you're like, oh, I'll make a copy and then I'll make a new scene, and then you forget to copy and you just make a new scene? That's me. That's me. That's what I did. That's what I did. Also, excuse the Iron Maiden top and stuff tonight. It is the weekend, so I am dressed in Slacher clothes. Although saying that, I also love Iron Maiden. There we go. Cool. Oh yeah. And if you guys want to get your hands on one of these lovely little books, which is the perfect size for a 3-hour one-shot, you can follow it. You can find it on Redbubble. I believe they're currently, if you buy 2, you get 10% off or something like that. So, well worth checking out. Let's get some prep done. So, our title is Hell Comes a Glittering, which I think is appropriately Halloweeny, you know? Unforgivable, I'm leaving. Okay, so let's look at the summary. Bodies are turning up in a city or large town. The organs of the victims appear to have been turned to solid crystal. We'll finish this, then we'll do that. Solid crystal. In a gruesome twist, the hearts of the victims have been carefully removed. The mayor and guard, guard captain have hit an impasse in their investigation, agreeing to assist in finding the murderer. The party find themselves under attack by infernal assassins as they follow the clues to the gem cutter's workshop in this rich and devilish adventure for 5th and 6th level PCs. The party must find and face a murderer and a charming devil. I have jeans with pockets. Does that count? God, I wish I had all my props because I would have been able to produce a pocket watch and chain. I mean, if you like, I can do this. But no. Right, so first things first, it sounds good, sounds like a good premise. First things first, the first thing I do when I prep anything is I start off with an intro, okay? So we're going to allot some time for everyone to say hello, get in the game, and all the rest of that good stuff. Then we're going to have a first encounter. Encounter 1. Encounter 2. Encounter 3. Encounter 4. And encounter 5. There it goes, and then we'll have a wrap-up at the end. Now, with the time zones, I would, like, if I was living in EST, I'd put them down as EST, but because all of my clock computers show me UK time, I'm going to write this down in UK time, but these are, it's still in, it's still a EST time stream, so we're going to have 2300, we have our intro. By 2315, we finish our intro. I'll give it half an hour per encounter. As a rough guide, it's not strict. And the wrap-up starts at 01:45. And generally, by the time you've wrapped up, finishing at quarter to the end of the stream, it gives enough time for everyone to say who they are, where they come from, what exciting things they're doing, and all of that good stuff. It's 15 minutes, it's just about right, and then you can raid nearly bang on the hour. Sometimes it overlaps just a little bit, and that's even better, because then you'll find quite often people stream from hour to hour, so you'll see which streams are just starting up, and you can give them a nice early raid, which is always good fun. So, first thing before we can start deciding what our first encounters are, it sounds like in the intro, at the moment, just reading the summary, it sounds like in the intro, they've already agreed to being investigators. Already happened. So, sounds like we might need to introduce that. But in addition to that, we can also look at the other things and figure out exactly where our encounters are going to be. If they are, these don't necessarily have to come in order either. If, for example, encounter 4 comes at encounter 2 because it's sort of like an investigation thing and they might want to investigate different places, then that's fine. Just still try and stick to the timings roughly, you know? So, a gnome gem cutter... Why are people dying? A gnome gem cutter has made a bargain with a gilded devil. The devil has granted the young woman unsurpassed skill in her craft, and in exchange, he has agreed to provide him with crystallized mortal hearts. She and the devil are hiding in the gem-cutting workshop of her former master, who was her first victim. The bargain made between the two is as follows. The devil increases Jelfi's skill at gem-cutting to surpass both rivals and mentors. Jelfi must murder one resident of the city each week. She must perform an unholy ritual that crystallizes parts of her victims' bodies. Jelfi must remove the crystallized heart of her victims and cut it into a beautiful stone. The stone is given to the Gilded Devil, who now lairs in the basement of the workshop, consuming the gems and jewellery. Ooh. So we've got 2 NPCs there. I'll make note of them. We've got Jelfi the Gem Cutter. She's important. And we'll just make some brief notes about her. Can you see that? Yeah, just about. So, it seems like they are she, her. That's what I'm getting. They refer to her as she. Yep, she, her. Jelfi, gem cutter, she, her, murderer, frankly. That's all we know about her at this point, for sure. A mystery presented. The PCs hear of the murders while staying in or travelling through the city. Inquiries made to innkeepers, guards, and general citizenry lead the party to a conversation with Mayor Encombe, who can be found in her official office most days. Audience of the mayor. The mayor, Noble, is a tall woman dressed in rich clothing. For a second, I thought that said no clothing or something like that. That was really strange. I was like, why is the mayor naked? The Mayor Noble is a tall woman dressed in rich clothing. Mayor Encombe is straightforward and maintains eye contact during her conversations. She only has the best interests of the citizens in her heart. She is never without her 2 personal guards, veterans. The mayor's investigators have come up empty-handed, and she is open to the PC's assistance. She offers 1,000 gold pieces. The party can solve the murders. She provides the following information. The 6 victims come from a wide range of backgrounds. They have been stabbed to death. Their internal organs, eyes, and bones are transformed into pure crystal. The hearts of the victims are missing. Hey, Gemsong, welcome in. The High Alchemist has not been helpful in the investigation so far, but may have useful information. The bodies of the victims are available for examination. The guard captain has reached a dead end and is not sure what to do next. He is available for consulting. Okay, so we've got a whole host of so we've got Encombe, Mayor Encombe, she, her, straight forward. And she'll have that information there. I'll keep that up. Hey Drake, welcome. Gathering clues. The following provides... Oh, I'll get out of my face. The following provides guidance for handling the PC's investigation into the murders. It is likely the party will solve the mystery and confront Jelfi at Kendrin's fine works on the 2nd day. After speaking with the High Alchemist and Argus, they may decide to investigate the gem-cutting shops on the 1st day, if they are clever. Improvise based on the party's actions, using the following topics and scenarios as required. You know too much. At some point in their investigation, likely in the evening of day 1 or when they are close to investigating Kendrin's shop, the party is attacked by 3 or 4 assassins, bearded devils. Mwah. Okay, so first we've got some... So what I'm going to do is I'll add the bosses in as we go. So we've got some bearded devils in there. The assassins strike whenever the party attempts to rest. They may also lure them into an alley or uninhabited building by emulating cries of distress. The assassins are sent by Jelfie's patrons. They know nothing of the murders or bargain and are simply following instructions. So we've got a combat encounter in there somewhere. One of these is going to be a combat encounter. Combat encounters in 5e usually take longer than half an hour. They can usually take up to about an hour, actually. So what I tend to do is I tend to make them easier, because at the end of the day, I don't want the party to die. It's only a one-shot. I want them to have fun and get through and figure out the mystery, you know? I don't want to just kill them by bearded devils. So I'll probably make it the CR3. We'll make it just 3 bearded devils attack them and see how they get on. Oh, and look, here's some lovely maps. Isn't that nice? So, day 1. Speaking with the guard captain, Mechno. Mechno is a sturdy human male with shocking orange hair and beard. He is openly frustrated by his inability to solve the murders. He is convinced that the murders are ritualistic. Strange chalk markings were found near the murder sites. He suggests the party visit one of the sites to see for themselves. He's already Scottish, I've decided. So this is Guard Captain Mechno. I've not started writing down where I'm going to put the encounters yet, because I need to figure out exactly what we've got. At the end of the day, I only want 5 encounters in this to make it last 3 hours. That's the thing. This is why I prepare these things for streaming, is we've only got a 3-hour slot, so I need to make sure that I've got enough content and not too much content for 3 hours. Yeah. Maps, ha! Throws them out the window. Although I did just today start supporting Devonrue on Patreon, so if you guys can, if you guys haven't checked out Devonrue, a lot of her maps are free. Go and check them out. You know, can't hurt, can it? So, a DC Wisdom Medicine check confirms the victims died from stabbed wounds. A DC 10 Wisdom Perception check reveals that the heart was removed carefully, but the stab wounds are very rough and amateurish. A DC 13 Investigation check concludes that the stab wounds were inflicted by someone small in stature, and that someone with nimble hands must have removed the heart. So this sounds like a puzzle, okay? We have a puzzle encounter. Examining the murder sites, the party finds a chalk symbol scrawled into a nearby wall. A DC 10 Wisdom or Religion or Intelligence Arcana reveals it's an infernal symbol. Casting Comprehend Languages does not decode the symbol, but does reveal its connection to the Infernal alphabet. PCs with a suitable background who read Infernal automatically identify it. And its meaning, cage the soul. What happens when you don't have enough content? You make shit up. If you have a module that doesn't have enough content, you either up the difficulty. So like, let's say we were doing this, and I can already tell this is going to be close to having too much content because there's a lot for them to investigate. But it's a fine line to balance as well, because you never know how much content the players are going to bring. So. Oh right, I played a one-shot today and I crit the Eldritch Blast and one-shot the Mind Flayer boss. Drake, that sounds pretty badass. But if that was me as a DM and you can one-shot it and I was expecting it to be a encounter, his mum would have woken up, you know? Mummy Bear would have come out to play. Cage the soul. It's a clue, because they are feeding these hearts to demons. Makes sense. I run no-stream games and I've become very fond of showing my players cutaway pictures of the location they enter when I want to play Theatre of the Mind. There are lots of good ones on Pinterest that I have been using. Very nice indeed. So. Oh yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah. So like, let's say that like this only had what we've had so far, one puzzle and one combat. Okay, I would plan the combat for this slot here. Okay, I would plan it for the middle of the stream, and I would expect it to last an hour. Yeah. Then what I would do is I would plan this investigation at the beginning here, and I would put all the NPCs in that location so that I can make that extend down for an hour. Then they'll have a little bit of travel in the middle somewhere. It'll probably be about 5-10 minutes where they figure it all out. Suddenly it clicks, you know, even if you have to give it to them. And then You had to deal with clowns! Travel to the scene, kill the bosses, and off we go. I already know there's going to be at least 2 or 3. So, like, that first one, that one where you know too much and, like, the bearded devils attack them, I've put the bearded devils in as a monster, but you know what? I might not use it, because I already know there's going to be 2 combats in this, and like I say before, combat on average, Drake, combat on average tends to take longer than half an hour in D&D 5e. In some systems it's really quick. In D&D 5e, half an hour often ain't enough, because, you know, every character's got an action, a bonus action, a reaction, they've got a movement, and then you've got in-combat roleplay as well, which just makes a single turn go mad. Hey, Frill, how you doing? So, examining the murder sites, the party finds a chalk symbol of... Oh, yeah, cage yourself. Day 2. Speaking of the High Alchemist. The High Alchemist is unavailable for a meeting on the first day of the party's investigation. He agrees to meet with them in the morning on the second day. Tembor the Green is no friend of the mayor's. He lives and works in his laboratory, and is attended by several servants and apprentices. I'm good, Scrap. I'm good, Scrap? Yeah, I'm good, Scrap. I'm good. Thanks, Phil. I'm great. It's easier to fill out time when a combat runs short in the middle than if you misplace it and it runs over. Yes, because then, well, why was there all this combat? You've got plenty of time to wrap it up. That extra half an hour at an end. Yeah. Let's see. Here's an old human... Oh, no, hang on. Here's an old human with an arrogant streak. The mayor slighted him by importing curative drafts once instead of ordering from him. He agrees to speak with the party, but will not give his assessment of the murders freely. A DC 16 persuasion changes his mind. Alternatively, the party might explain the slight to the mayor, who agrees to apologize to Tembor to further the investigation. Once properly convinced, he informs the party that kyanite is well known for its purity. Energy stored in kyanite would be pristinely preserved. Kyanite is not overly common. He also suggests speaking with Angus at the Gemcutters Guild Hall. Half an hour real time, that's probably what, a minute tops in the time the came? Yeah, right? You know? So we've got another encounter as well, the High Alchemist. There's a lot of encounters here. So, visiting the Gemcutters Guild Hall, Argus is the second highest ranking member of the guild. He is a slender elf with strikingly good looks. He knows nothing specific. He's a slender elf with strikingly good looks. He agrees kyanite is prized for its purity, but he also reveals the crystal is difficult to cut and would chip or shatter in all but the most skilled hands. He suggests visiting the city's jewellery and gem cutting workshops, the Emerald Dove, and Kendron's Fine Works. She no idea hates herself. Visiting the Emerald Dove. Annie is a pleasant half-elf who owns and runs a jewellery making shop in the nice part of the city. She is troubled to hear about the murders. She's troubled to hear about the murders, but she admits she has never worked with kyanite. Her relationship with Kendron has soured since he accepted the unpopular Jelfie as an assistant. Jelfie worked for Annie for a few months, but had more talk than skill. She can't be sure, but she thinks the gnome even stole an old lapidary guide before her last day at work. I already like her. Annie. Jewellery maker. I don't know why, but I can do a Brummie accent in a female voice, but I can't do a Brummie accent. No, it just goes Scottish. Whenever I try and do a deep, low Brummie accent in male, it just goes deep and low. I don't like her at all. I don't like her at all. Just goes Scottish. I can't get around that. I need to work on my tongue movement or throat movement at the back of the throat, maybe. Visiting Kendron's Fine Works. The door is locked and there is no response to knocking. The door can be forced open without a skill roll. Proceed to Hell Comes a Glittering once the PCs enter Kendron's shop. Okay. And then we've got Hell Comes a Glittering. The storefront of this workshop is dark. A few ornate displays sit empty near the back of the chamber. A single door leads to the back of the building. The store has been emptied of valuables. The devil in the basement has eaten most of them. The place smells of decaying flesh. Old bloodstains mark the floor near the front. And the blood belongs to Kindred, Jelfie's first victim. Do I make notes of the voices you associate with your NPCs? No, I tend not to. I go with whatever feels right at the time. Just as when I'm like reading about them, all I do is I literally just write this, gruff and frustrated. Also, I'll note Ginger, because Ginger for me often goes Scottish, and I want him to be brash and annoyed. So it's gonna be a shit Scottish accent, but it's gonna sound annoyed, because you know you can do a reasonably good Scottish accent if you try hard, but there's a whole range. There's a whole range of Scottish accents. You couldn't Glasgow, can't you? Annie, I went straight to Brummie because she just seems really nice, and I think that the Brummie accent on a female, it just sort of, you know, it makes them seem a little bit more trustworthy, and when she's willing to show me around the shop and everything, you know, she just seems like a nice northern lass. Northern. I see. I'm making notes of I'm making notes of the things now since you said it, but I don't need to. Innocent, essentially. I'll have the module up as well when I'm running this. So yeah. So his body was not recovered, and the apprentice hid it in the basement. A stairway in the back room leads to the basement lair of the Gilded Devil. The heavy steel door into the lower workshop is open. That's fantastic. Yes, Fildaja. Ginger could be Irish too, but for some reason, when I think of an annoyed fella, you know what I mean? I think more Scottish than Irish. Fantastic. That's my word to get into my Irish accent. Fantastic. Once I say fantastic, I can pretty much do my Irish accent. Okay. Sort of Belfasty sort of area. Go low. Go low. Go low. Get that nice Belfast sort of, you know. Fantastic. Anyway. The murderer revealed. Jelfie, spy. Spy in the SRD? Yes. Is hiding, self-17, behind the displays. When the pieces enter the store and it's clear she'll be discovered, she confronts them. No. I was promised unsurpassed... No. I was promised unsurpassed skills. I'll not be taken. She's annoyed. Alright, cool. Murderer. Haughty. The PCs have a moment or two to interact with Jelfie before she attacks them. She's happy to sell out the Gilded Devil, lairing in the basement if she's allowed to go free. DC 20 Persuasion Intimidation might diffuse the conflict. Otherwise, faced with imprisonment or worse, Jelfie attacks. She has been given a guardian by the Gilded Devil. Jelfie carries a large emerald that is in fact a crystalline devil in its gemstone form. The two attack the party. Jelfie does not have Annie's stolen lapidary guide, which can be returned. Jelfie does have Annie's stolen lapidary diary guide, which can be returned for 200 gold value gem as reward. I went to a Yorkshire accent yesterday. Oh, Yorkshire! Hang on, I've been to Halifax so many times. I just need to. Just gonna get a cup of tea. Know what I mean? Yorkshire's a hard one. Very northern. Gotta go to shop. Gotta go to shops. Gotta go to shops. Difficult. I can't really do either accent, though I am Irish and Scottish. I used to get told off for practicing accents when I was younger. My friends would take offence. Like, I had a Scottish friend, and I was like, can you do a Scottish accent? And he said what was then my key line for getting into the only Scottish accent I know. And he was like, I can try. And he went, don't make me laugh, laddie. And I repeated it back to him. I went, don't make me laugh, laddie. And he was like, you taking the piss? I was like, no. I was just trying to play. Anyway, The devil in the basement, dwelling amongst the sacks of raw stones. Did I make any notes about Jelfie? Yeah, I made a haughty note. Dwelling amongst the sacks of raw stones in the gemcutter's workshop is a gilded devil. He has just eaten the most valuable items. He has eaten the most valuable items. The 6 kyanite hearts of Jelfie's victims sit prominently on a small table. Hang on a minute, I forgot to put in the crystalline. Is that going to be in there? No. I'll have to look that up. Apparently when I do a southern accent, it's from all over the south. Apparently my accent moves around 300 miles when I'm doing Travis on a Thursday. Never been to south, so... It's a gilded devil. He has eaten the most valuable item. The 6 kyanite hearts of Jelfie's victims sit prominently on a small table. The devil, having heard the fight upstairs, has taken a relaxed position on the main work table. He welcomes the party to his abode and apologizes for the smell. He explains the bargain he has made with Jelfie and expresses disappointment in her. He flatly offers the PCs the remaining 5,000 gold pieces worth of his finished precious stones to walk away and leave him to escape. He promises to leave, and a DC 5 wisdom check reveals he is telling the truth. Otherwise, he gladly attacks the party. The devil may use an action to consume one of the 6 Kyanites' heart. Doing so restores 25 HP and gives the devil's advantage on his next attack. Rewards. Jelfie has Anna's lapidary guide stashed on the main floor of Kendrin's shop. Book is worth around 500 gold pieces. Annie will pay half as much for its return. I must decide what to do with the 5,000 gold pieces worth of unfinished gems in Kendrin's basement workshop. The mayor is pleased to pay the party the promised fee. What's next? The uncut gems that the Gilded Devil did not eat are in the hands of the PCs. Selling them in the city would incriminate them, and smuggling that many gems might prove difficult. There may be infernal allies of the slain devil living in the city who take offense at the party's actions. That's it. Okay, so that seems pretty cool to me. So right, first things first then. It seems to me like we need to put the main combat, the big bad combat here, okay? This is an hour away from the end. So we have, does it reveal the Gilded Devil's name? No, it doesn't. Gilded Devil. Because we want the Gilded Devil to be the main focus, we also want to have enough time to have combat. Because if there's combat, there is a... It's late enough in the game. It's late enough in the game to kill everyone, okay? They'll still have fun if we kill everyone that late, okay? If it's going to go to the death, if it's going to go to the party's death, then, you know, that will finish around 145. And if it doesn't, I'll just make it finish around 145. You know, that's the beauty of being a DM. Sometimes when the chips are down, you just go, oh, you know what? Legendary action... Multiple lightning bolts. Can you all please take 8d6 lightning damage? Oh yeah, okay, you made a dex check. Yeah, take half as much. Oh, okay, you've got uncanny dodge. Take quarter as much. There's 6 of them. Kill everyone. Anticlimactic? Maybe. But at the end of the day, you have to wrap up the stream one way or another. And I can come up with something dramatic at the end that explains what the mayor finds the next day as they look for the adventurers who never turned in their report. You know, and we can do something like that, and they'll find the empty table, blood everywhere. Perhaps for adventurers with crystalline bodies, hearts missing. You get the drift, you know. So, Gilded Devil there, and we need to get up a stat block. I doubt that there is a Gilded Devil in here. No. So let's find out what a Gilded Devil is similar to. Ah. Well, okay. Apparently it's in the SRD. Medium Devil, Law... Yeah, okay, so where's the CR? That's what we need. Challenge 7. So let's have a look at these devils and see which one is the closest matching. Barbed Devil? Barbed Devil is challenge 5. Is it similar? Okay, so let's check this shite out. Multi-attack, tail, heavy flail. No, Barb Devil isn't going to cut it. We need something a bit more. Maybe the Chain Devil might be similar. Chain Devil Challenge A. It's got some similar stuff, maybe. It's got some multi-attack and stuff. Ah, do you know what? It'll probably do. We can start there at least. We can just make it the same. The sooner we get on it, the better, really. So this is a Gilded Devil. Medium Fiend. Let's go back to the top so we can see. Medium Fiend Devil, Lawful Evil, Armor Class 16, Coin Male. May or may not be tapping his foot to the music. It's always a party in him when we're prepping things. Hit points 112. That'll be just a rough number. Once they get up around the 100 sort of mark, you know, that's the beauty of streaming with bosses, is you can just change the, like, I tend to do it when they've had enough. If they're getting bored of the fight, if they're running out of new ideas, that sort of thing, you know what, I might drop it down as low as 80. If they're having a lot of fun and the devil keeps finding new ways to hurt them, I might up it a little bit, you know? It's very fluid, which is why we've given ourselves a full hour. Because we're not going to railroad this, you know? It could go either way. If they really want to fight, they can fight, and if, you know, if he kills them, he kills them. So the strength is actually 17. The dex is actually 15. Constitution is 17. We were actually pretty close with the Chain Devil. The intelligence is 15. And the wisdom is 18. Ooh. And 17 there. Saving throws, strength plus 6. Con plus 6. Wisdom plus 7, damn son, and charisma plus 6. What we got? We've got deception 9, history 5. If deception's a 9, you know, a southern accent is the only accent I can do. Every other accent I'm absolutely shite at speaking. That's totally valid as well, you know. Sometimes it doesn't matter how good your accent is, just doing different accents for different NPCs will make them unique and memorable, you know? Also not good if your big bad gets taken out first shot. Oh, hi Drake, how are you? Yeah, no, I wouldn't have let that happen. I wouldn't have let that happen. If you did a massive shot and all of that sort of stuff, if I didn't have anything else planned, oh, I would have let it happen if they were innocent. I love throwing that sort of stuff at people. Anyway, damage resistances. We've got cold, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from damage weapons that aren't silvered. Lovely. Damage immunities, fire and poison. Perfect. Condition immunities, poisoned. Senses, dark vision. We're doing well. Passive perception 8 here. Passive perception, passive perception, passive perception. Doesn't give one, but with, I assume with that high int, it'd be more like a 12. Not that it probably is going to matter, but hey. Languages, infernal. Oh, telepathy, 100 feet. This one doesn't have telepathy, I don't think. Oh, yes, it does, but it's also got infernal. Common. Celestial, this thing's a smart son of a bitch. And Draconic. I've got a feeling he's going to be very debonair. So, General options we don't really care about. We will edit this so that it says Gilded Devil, so I don't confuse myself in future, because I use this for many types of games. This particular thing. Also, in my defense moves, he killed my Raven. Changing cadence and tone makes for memorable voices too. This is my voice. Just put stutters and stops in it. Could be a different NPC. So makes me you know what I mean? Makes me think of what's his name? I just can't think of his name. You know the guy, what's his name? This guy, you know the guy who talks like this all the time. You know the ones? You know what I mean? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Christopher Walken, that's it. Walken. Christopher Walken. That's my Christopher Walken voice. Hope you guys like it. Might not be the best, but I like it. Magical Dark. Okay, so now let's get rid of that and start looking at their actual abilities. So we've got Devil's Sight. Magical darkness does not impede the Devil's dark vision. Perfect. Magical Resistance. The Devil has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. The guy from Goodfellas, yeah. Now you listen to me. So, we've also got Liar's Largesse. I don't know what that word means, but it's cool. Oh, we can add that in. Let's add that in. We've got the Liar's Largesse. I still haven't set up a decent camera stand, so once again, the second camera is sitting on a book. It's actually sitting on the Curse of Strahd module, which is how you can see my notes. But I will work on... I'm still working on my setup. As you can see, green screen's still missing. We're going to head over to the farm sometime this week and try and just neaten this all up a little bit. Because frankly, there's still a lot of moving mess that I would love to hide, but I can't. And every time I step away from the PC, people move for me. So, Liar's Largesse. Okay. Cool. They also have magical weapons. That's it. Tee innate spellcasting. Okay, so we've got... No, that's not what I wanted. Innate spellcasting. Oh, there's more than that. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Polymorph. Polymorph. Adult Red Dragon. Makes 2 attacks with its heavy flail. So we can pretty much get rid of that. We're not going to need it. So we've got attack roll. We've got the heavy flail, which is a melee weapon attack of a +8 to hit. God damn, this thing ain't messing around. Reach is 5 feet. That's fine. Target 1 target. Hit 1d10. +5, and that will be bludgeoning. Very nice. Betrayal of Riches. As a bonus action, a Gilded Devil can turn rings and exit another jewelry momentarily against their wearer. The devil can affect any visible items of jewelry on up to 2 creatures within 60 feet, twist them into cruel barbs and spikes. Each time received on a DC. And you know what I can do as well? I can ask Annie if I can ask Annie. I can get Annie to look over their jewelry for them, and offer to sell them some very cheap, and then that will enable my thing. There's got to be an encounter with Annie in this section somewhere before we get to the Gilded Devil. I want that. I don't think the Bearded Devils are actually going to make it into this one. I have a feeling they're not going to make it in. That's going in as well. That's important information. And then that's verbatim. Okay, you don't like me using the tab key, so I shall not use it. There we go, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Huh. No, it looked pretty when I typed it. Well, now I hope none of the players are watching. Now they're prepared for an encounter. Well, that's the thing, Madroke. I do ask the players. I tell the players that I do try and tell the players that I've warned them that I'm streaming this tonight, and I've asked them not to tune in. So, you know, if they wanted to, they could come in, but I don't really see what the I don't see what the point would be, you know. This looks awesome. I'm putting that up here. There's not so much an action. You know? Oh, but I should put it as an action, because if I don't, I won't be able to click on it. And I want chat to see that I'm not making this bullshit up, you know? The Scourge of Avarice. As a bonus action, a Gilded Devil wearing jewelry worth at least 1,000 gold pieces can reshape it into a +2 heavy flail. A creature struck by this dual flail suffers disadvantage on all wisdom saving throws until his or her next short rest. Why wasn't that in the heavy flail? I'm adding that in because you know that's what its heavy flail is, so we'll add that in as a descriptor, and then that will come up with that. And Voracious Greed is an action a Gilded Devil can consume non-magical jewelry or coinage worth up to 1,000 gold pieces. For each 200 gold pieces consumed, it heals 5 HP of damage. A Gilded Devil can use his ability against the worn items of a grappled foe. Target must succeed on a DC 13 saving throw to keep an item from being consumed. Well, actually, we will include this, but we're going to modify it slightly to match what we've got in the module, because it says in here that the devil can do things. Devil may use. There we go. So, as an action, we'll just do that. That'll work. And this we don't need. So this doesn't actually have reactions, so we can take reactions away. What happens if I click spellcasting NPC? I never noticed that before. spells. Nah. Okay, so what have we got? What have we got? We've got at will spells, right? So let's go and see what we can find. See if we can just drag these in. So at will, we've got detect fort to see which of these are actually in the SRD. Detect forts. Boom! It does it. Nice. What else we got? We've got major image. That should be in there. Suggestion. See now, if they actually fight this thing, I can see this being a long encounter. It's just got so much content in this one boss, you know, that I might instead change it that Jelfie runs downstairs, you know, and it'll say, look, I'll give you these 6 gold hearts if you let us escape. We'll move to another city out of your way. That's more likely to make them want to fight. So if I was to do that, I'd probably move that up to there actually and combine the 2 fights. So I could have day 1, day 2, fight, aftermath. Could work. So, now what else we've got? We've got dominate person. We also have polymorph, which is a ridiculous spell. Scorching ray. Scrying. So right now I'm thinking that this boss is going to be too powerful. But I'm not going to make that classic mistake. This module has been designed for these level characters, so it should be okay. I'm not going to taper things back because I'm worried. Because I'm worried that they'll, you know... I'm not going to taper things back because I'm worried they're not going to make it, because I'll probably end up regretting it. I'll end up with too little content, you know? you know me, Gemsong. If people want to improv, let's improv. Hey, 12 side guy, welcome in. Kill them all. But you can't hurt things that you kill. Why give them that release? It's true though, in a one-shot. Half of my one-shots so far in this midweek modules this season have been TPKs. And then last week I threw a Void Dragon at them. It wasn't a TPK, but he did take one of them. There's that smile I've grown to love. What can I say? Killing NPCs. I mean reanimation, am I right? Top quality responser. So, I think I'm actually going to do that there. I'm going to... maybe put an arrow up. So we've got... what's it called? Tendrin's thingy. Kendrin's fine work. I'm not gonna give her, like, if I do what they suggest in this one shot here, what they suggest. I mean, obviously this one shot's been designed of just providing content. It hasn't got a 3-hour time limit in mind. So what they suggest about Jelfie, with her having like having a crystalline devil in her pocket, 2 big fight scenes. There's not gonna be time for any investigation. There's just not gonna be time. So. Oh, wait, thank you, 12-sided guy. That is nice. That's good feedback. Thank you for giving that to me. Yeah, so to just run over for those of you who come in, essentially, when I'm running my one-shots, I go for 5 half-an-hour encounters as my guideline, okay? So before I even read it, what I do is I go, right, we're going to have an intro. The intro is going to take 15 minutes, half an hour per encounter, quarter of an hour at the end for everyone to wrap up and say who they are and where they are and all that sort of stuff. That should be good, okay? So with this in mind, I then read through the encounter and just pick and choose the bits that I want to put in to make it work. And it doesn't have to be 5 distinct ones. I know that 5e combat generally takes more than half an hour, especially with this badass in a fight, you know, it's going to be all sorts of shit going on. He's going to spend probably 10 minutes trying to cast suggestion on someone and getting them to attack each other, you know, that's just the way it's going to go, most likely. So I think we'll do Kendrin's Fine Works, and I'm going to make the note that Jelfie will run downstairs if discovered. Or convince them to go downstairs. Essentially, she'll go downstairs. It doesn't have to be run. She might, you know, do the whole, come, I'll show you. I'll show you everything. And, you know, the party will be really guarded about that, because who wouldn't be when you find a murderer and they're like, I'll show you everything. Like, if that was me as a player, as a real person who knows what players are like, I would be like, it's a trap! And I'd be like, yeah, okay, let me come downstairs and you can show me everything. Let me just go and get the rest of the fucking city to come with me, just in case, yeah? And a bazooka. This is medieval times? Well, hang on. Give me a couple of 100 years to create a bazooka, and then I'll come downstairs and see what you've got. You know, like... But, one way or another, she's going to get downstairs. One way or another. We can work that out as well. So, what I think I'm going to do is you've got Jelfie and the Gilded Devil. Then you've got the wrap-up afterwards. The ending scene is going to be interesting, because you've got these... What do they do with the stones? Which, this could come earlier as well. If she takes them downstairs, the Gilded Devil offers them the stones for them to leave, and they decide, you know what, this week we don't want a TPK. Yeah, fine, go. That's fine by me. You go and have a good time, guys. Go to another city somewhere. We'll tell the guards that we've solved everything. They can then spend the next hour trying to explain to the guards how the thing got away and they got these hearts sort of thing, you know? And hell, if they do come out of the shop... if they do come out of the shop and they haven't had this massive combat and there's been no combat whatsoever, then I'll throw the 3 bearded devils at them. So what do they do with the hearts? And if they leave bearded devils. Sorry, my handwriting gets messier over the spine. Normally I'd try and prop the book up with something, but I just thought it looked a bit unneat on the table. Orange Dragon! Welcome! At the very least, let me find dynamite. Exactly. So, we've got Jelfie in there as well. Let's go and find Jelfie, and we'll just at least call her Jelfie so that I know what we're doing there. Save changes, and we will call you Jelfie. Okay, so we've got Jelfie there. Oh yeah, it's John from Twitter. Which John from Twitter? Sorry, that's Could you give me your Twitter handle? If you give me your Twitter handle, I'll know you like that. Because I use the Twitter handles all the time. The game last week. Oh! 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 Well then, welcome back, Orange Dragon. Or do you prefer John? Oh yes, give me a common name. I'm like, yeah, oh hi John. Like, you know, my middle name is John. My uncle's called John. I know 4 people. I used to know 4 people at work called John. John was our popular name. We had Big John, Little John, Baby John, and Dim John. Those were our Johns. Big John was disappointingly big, and Little John was disappointingly little. You know, ideally you'd want them the other way around. Little John's the big guy. But no, Big John was generally just called Big John, and Little John was called Little John. And then we had an apprentice start who was called John as well, but he couldn't grow a beard, so we called him Baby John. Made sense. Made sense to us. Made sense to us. So, timers. This is an opportunity to use timers. I do love to do it. Okay, so every now and again. So, day 1. 30 minutes. Okay? Day 2. 30 minutes. I'm going to use real life timers to manage this section of the stream on Wednesday. The real life timers will make sure that they work in that time frame. And if they overrun, I'll time that too. So if they run 5 minutes late, I'm going to tell them that they go to bed really late. And do you know what? They actually wake up really late. They could be late, for example, to what's his name's meeting. So let's go with this. So we're going to start, I believe, day 1. We've got Guard Captain, Mechno, and Crime Scene Investigation. Okay? We'll also put in here what the mayor tells them at the beginning. Okay? We'll do that shortly. And that will be that. Then we've got day 2. Hi, Alchemist, and Annie. What is that called? It's called the oh no, the Gem Cutters Guild Hall. Gem Cutters Guild Hall. Argus. I've not got anything down about Argus. This is definitely a Scottish town. We've got names like Argus and Mechno. What's his name? Mechno? Argus and Mechno. This is definitely a Scottish town. Got to be. Yeah, Argus. Working bloke. Genuine. Informative. Helpful, even. Have I got anything down about what's his name yet? Dickface. I already hate this NPC, which is a good sign. If I hate an NPC, it's a good sign. Zero, welcome in, Tom. How you doing? See, now there's there again, John. That's a great example. Zero logic. His Twitter handle is Zero, so I know that 0, Tom. And I could do the same with you. If like your thing was I still can't remember your Twitter handle, but if it was like Orange Dragon and your Twitter was Orange Dragon, I'd be like, oh, Orange Dragon, John. But I always do it through Twitter. I don't know why. Maybe that's a bad system. So, and Zerf Spirit sent you my way, 12-side guy. I'll have to go and I know I've got Zerf Spirit playing in a game sometime soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but I believe she's going in either one of Kiana's one-shot wonders, or she's going in the Argo 37 stream, which is the stream led by our sponsor, which is displayed at the top. At the moment, it's Bird in the Storm, but in a moment, it will be Mage Hand Press. Mage Hand Press run it, and like you can find that information here. It's a cool space reskin of 5e. It's fun. Anyway. Hi, Alchemists. Haughty, what's his bloody name? Tembor the Green. You can tell already that he's haughty because his name's bloody Tember the Green. Who calls himself Tember the Green, you know? Hello, I'm Annie the Jewel Maker. Hello, I'm Mayor Ancom, Guard Captain Mechno, Jelfie the Gem Cutter, Argus. Just Argus. And then Timber the Green. I don't recall when either. She was hosting her channel and I had to click in. Zeph's sending us a host. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I'll have to make sure I send her a little thank you. I'll do that. I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to make a note to do that. Not here, though, because this is my NPC notes. I'm just going to put Zerf on this random tissue that's lying around. Cool. Argus the Argonaut. No, it's just Argus. Such a dick. That's literally... That's literally my notes for him. Such a dick. Old. Grudge holder. Okay. So in this intro, we're going to have to do a quick introduction of everyone, and then the mayor. The mayor. So when I go back to my DMs tonight, I'm going to... Alden has a story for everything. Oh, you know. I want to use this artificer. Let's make an alchemist shopkeeper with this class. That's a strong shot, Scottish accent. Did I say something about you moving to the US, or are you just still in the US sleeping pattern? Yeah, no, I'm still in the US sleeping pattern. Yeah, I'm still in the US sleeping pattern. You know, it's good because most of my viewers are over in the US time zone, and it also bridges across with the Australians, or like the beginning of the afternoon sort of Australians, and also the evening time of the UK, you know? So we hit evening time UK, evening time afternoon US is when we start. I don't even really work EST, to be honest. I work 1 p.m. EST until 1 a.m. EST. So I guess I'm closer to Pacific time. But I've just got a weird sleeping pattern. It's a streamer's sleeping pattern, you know? Lights are on or lights are off. That's my sleeping pattern. Probably always will be for a good long time, because hey, we're full time now. Anyway. The mayor. The mayor needs to tell them things. So... 1,000 gold pieces. You know what? I think I'm pretty much gonna read this out at the beginning verbatim. You've just left the mayor's office. She was, you know, she was strict and she was kind. She was asking you for help. She's offered you 1,000 gold pieces if you can solve the murders. The 6 victims come from a wide range of backgrounds. They have been stabbed. Their internal organs, eyes and bones are transformed into pure crystal. Parts of the victims are missing. The higher course has not been helpful in the investigation so far, but may have useful information. The bodies of the victims are available for examination. The guard captain has reached a dead end and is not sure what to do next. He is available for consulting. Alden has a story for everything. Of course, then you'd have to improv. Improv is my strong suit. Like, honestly, with you 12-sided guy, if I didn't stream it, I wouldn't prep. Like my Wizards and Wardrobes campaign, I've stopped prepping for altogether now. I know the storyline in my head. I come up with things on the spot and we work with them. And it's good fun. We're going to the Feywild next week. I should probably look into a bit of Feywild bullshit, but hey, I've been to the Fey enough times. There's ways other than improv. Lindy knows. Lindy knows. Guys, if you haven't already checked out Lindy, go and check her out. She is by far my favourite DM on the Twitch at the minute. Our crazies match. When I feel like when me and Lindy get together, magic happens, and it's great. So check it. I'm probably prepped for again. You're basically just me, but British scrap. Come on. How'd you do? Please let me get a cup of tea. Hold on, pick it. Yeah. So I think I'll give them all that information in the thing. goes to check out Lindy. Do go check out Lindy. Send her a follow. Also, she's on Twitter. Go and give her a follow on Twitter as well, because she doesn't just do D&D on her channel. She does D&D on a lot of channels. So you can probably see, I imagine that Lindy will retweet often when she's about to go live somewhere, and it's good to go and see. You love Johnny Depp. How can you not love Johnny Depp, Sheena? Your stream made D&D accessible for an old newbie. I appreciate your influence. Monocled Moose. It's great. Oh, hang on. I missed the first bit. It's great. I have to thank you for inspiring me. I started watching your stream about 4 or 5 months ago, brand new to D&D, but since then I joined a group, wrote a module, and DM'd for the first time. Monocled Moose. That is amazing. Do you know how happy that makes me? That is entirely the whole purpose of my channel. You don't know how much you just validated me. That's amazing. So like, if you're new to the channel, guys, basically, I don't have dreams of being the next Critical Role. Okay, I don't. I don't even have dreams of being like Encounter Roleplay or Web DM, Roll for It, Maze Arcana. I'm not that person. Okay, but what I would like to think is that I can help produce. So we've got a lot of TTRPG shows at the minute. Okay, you can start listing them off. There's already the 5 or 6 I've just mentioned, and you've got Dice 20 Era. You've got Welcome to the Party RPG. You've got On the Forefront. You've got Mini Terrain Domain. You've got, you can go on and on and on and on and on and on. There's all these streams that need players, and yeah, I am all about enabling people to go and be them players. So my dream isn't to be on Critical Role. My dream is to see someone that started in this community, someone like Monocled Moose. My dream is to be able to push you all the way up so that you can be on Critical Role. That's what I want to do. You know? That's my thing. I want to promote all of you guys. And also open up the space as well to all of the people that aren't represented very well. If you see me appear on another show, I have demands that I make of people, and you know, if people don't like it, to hell with them. My demands are that I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry, Scrat was already a huge nerd before I got here. That's fine. That's fine. You're still starting out in like online roleplay or something. Like, I don't care. As long as I help you, it doesn't matter if you're brand new. As long as I help you get places, I feel great. That's where we've gone on a massive derail here, but this is fine. This is enjoyable. I've started. Okay, I keep playing with my hair because I noticed it was starting to fall out a lot, and it's generally because I stream like every day. I put shit tons of products on it to make it stay in place, and it was starting to fall out. So I've given it like a week of rest, and I think it's falling out less. But still, when I'm in the shower, like hair comes out, I'm gonna have to get some more folic acid in my system or something. I don't know. But if I keep playing with my hair and it's annoying, I'm sorry. I can't help it. But yeah, I'm all about promoting people up. That's what I want to do. I just want to get people to that next stage. Oh, Val, that's great. That is exactly what I want to do. And like, I've got a process with it as well. You know, if you're brand new, I'll invite you to do a couple of one-shots. If you show that you can turn up on time and you've got a reasonable setup and you're keen more than anything else, I'll invite you to come and be in a campaign, in a 3-month campaign. And if, you know, you've been in a 3-month campaign, why would people want to play on Critical Role when I could play with you? Oh, Lindy. Okay. We're going to stop derailing because I'm a cry. You guys. Hands move faster than the brain. No. Or just be me and be persistent. Well, Sheena, you're there. You're in Ryutama. You now, you'll be coming back next season, I hope, because now you are an experienced player, okay? You're an experienced player that will be going on to help new players come along. And when you're ready to start DMing, we'll get you DMing some one-shots. And when you've got some one-shots under your belt and you're feeling confident with it, we'll get you DMing a campaign, you know? Like, I hope I hope everyone in our current campaigns aren't expecting them to be long like years-long campaigns, because they're not. That's not what I intend them to be. The cast's going to change every season, I hope. 90% of the DMs are going to change every month. You know. You know. Space Pirate Games, welcome! Oh, hi! Glad I could derail you all. It was worth it. It was a beautiful derail. Okay, so let's go through what we've got, and then we'll move on to a couple of Roll20 tips, and we'll also look at the oh, I'm hella down to DM. At the moment, I've already got October and November done. I'm going to be looking at getting some more DMs around Christmas time. The problem with Christmas time is it's very difficult to plan for, and no one knows what they're doing yet. So I'll probably start looking for Christmas time stuff towards the end of November, something like that. Thank you! I don't usually wear Iron Maiden. I don't usually wear black on stream, to be honest, because Hildy usually loves to sit on my shoulders and stuff. She hasn't done so much since we moved house, I must admit. But what I found was when I wear black and Hildy is on me, people can't see her so well, and I know people love Hildy, so I usually wear lighter t-shirts so that Hildy shows up better, but she has forsaken me. She was laying on a box earlier. Apparently a box is more comfortable than me. Rude. Okay, so let's do a quick recap and then we'll go through. We've got our NPCs over here with some short notes which will remind me of them. They've got Argus the working bloke, genuine, informative, helpful even. We've got Jelfie the gem cutter, she, her, she's a murderer, haughty, I will not have my utter's promise to me taken. We've got Mayor Encombe, who's probably actually not going to speak to them. I'm just going to tell them what they had because we're not going to have time. I wear black and black only. Is that because there are people starving in the world? Am I quoting? Or is that just a goth thing? Because that's cool. I used to wear black all the time. You know. We've also got Guard Captain Mechno. No, hang on. Different Scottish accent. Guard Captain Mechno. He is a gruff and frustrated ginger. Yeah, you can't get his head around what's going on. You know what I mean? And we've got Annie the Jewelwaker, Northern Innocent. Oh, hello. Hello. I've forgotten it. It was Brummy, right? Aye. Oh, yes. Yes, that's right, Annie. Annie the Jewelmaker. Yeah. No, I don't like, I don't like to, you know, I don't like the idea of people being murdered and stuff, but if I can help in any way, just let me know and I'll try and help you out. That's actually gone a bit more Scottish, but it fits in with the rest of the characters, so that's fine. And Tembo the Green, such a dick. Old grudge holder. There we go. Yeah, Lindy, totally understand. Enjoy your lurk. OBS is a strange and wonderful beast. I'll be wrapping up probably in about half an hour. If you want any... I mean, not I'm saying you need any help because you're an amazing streamer. But if you want me to come and help out at all, I'd be happy to because, you know, I OBS and you OBS and, you know, we could also just hang out. If Brummy sounded like that, the West Midlands would be way better. I had Brummy earlier. People in chat will remember. I was speaking Brummy earlier. Craig David. You see, I try to use words to get back into it because now I've got Scottish in my head. I can't get out of it. Scottish is a very, very infectious accent. I used to really... I probably do again now. I used to have to put a lot of practice into not mixing my Irish and Scottish accents. Because once you get into a Scottish accent, you try saying fantastic. You know, fantastic, and that would be amazing. But now, hang on a minute. Where am I going? Where am I going now? I don't even know where I am now. This isn't Irish. I think I've gone to bloody Wales. My voice has gone everywhere. It's everywhere. Never mind. Don't make me laugh, laddie. Anyway. I need to stop doing accents. I'm getting confused. So let's go through. We've got our intro. We've got 50 minutes for everyone to introduce themselves, and then the mayor is literally just going to give them the rundown of what's going on. Okay? An Irish friend staying in my flat for a week and doing a Scottish accent at the same time. She was in the... Doing a Scottish accent at the same time she was in the room was impossible. Blimey, I've gone native. Yeah. So he's going to give that rundown of that information. She is. And they'll just start off with that. Now they've got 2 days. I know. You've got 30 minutes a day. I'm going to tell them, okay? I would love to... Anyone has plans to stream set up panels and stuff. Hey, we can totally do that. I'll tell you what we'll do, Space Pirate Games. What we'll do is we'll finish up this prep stream today, and then I'll make another one. But what I'll do is I'll start the stream like a YouTube video, and I won't interact with chat. I'll just go through how I set up my OBS. Because if that's useful, hell, I'll make that video. That's fine, you know? Tam. Well, thank you, Tam. Fantastic. Fantastic's my word to get into Irish. Sort of that Belfast area. I've got an upward inflection on everything at the minute though, and it's because of my goddamn Scottish accent taking over everything with its goddamn upward inflections. Even though it's low down, there's still an upward inflection. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked again. Oh, I'm from Wales, a wee town called Clanfair, Twilgny, Glugary, Twendrobville, Go. That, yeah, isn't that like the town next to the valley under the bridge? Like, it's just such a literally named town. It's like a town in the middle of the nowhere. So they're like, oh, it's the town that's beyond the bridge, in the valley, by the 2 lakes. I know that one. I know that town. I've seen that railroad sign. Anyway, yes. So I'll put a 30-minute timer on for their first day. I'm going to say, right, you've got a timer per day. So this is a limited thing, guys. I'm going to turn the timer on. You've got 1 day to do things. The mayor has suggested that you speak to the guard captain, investigate scenes of the crime, and the high alchemist may know things. What do you want to do? You know, and then see where they go. Hopefully they'll go to the guard captain. If they try and go to the high alchemist, then I'll give them a the classic old The name apparently means St. Mary's Church in the hollow of the White Hazel near to the fierce whirlpool of St. Cilio of the Red Cave. Yeah. I knew it was something like that. It's essentially a town which has nothing interesting about it. So it's like, it's St. Mary's Church, because of course it's fucking St. Mary's Church, in the hollow of the White Hazel. So, yeah, okay. There's a White Hazel. That's the most... That, apparently, is the most, like, notable thing about that town, is that there's a White Hazel, and it's in the hollow of it. And it's near this other place, where there's a whirlpool in a red cave. Although, actually, getting rid of the Welsh and using that as a description for a place in in Dungeons & Dragons would really... Freudian slip there, World of Warcraft. I am great with accents, except for Spanish, for some reason. Hilariously, because I speak a little bit of Spanish, I think. I really enjoy doing the Spanish accent. I try and use the Spanish accent for my more attractive NPCs, like Ken. Although, of course, now the people who played with Ken, they do not trust him at all, for he seems to be consorting with demons. The last time they met him, he cast an eldritch blast and could see in magical darkness. It would seem, also long ago now, that he had been consulting with some patrons of another realm. I had an aunt named Hazel who was white. Well, thank you for your input, Monocle Moose. Did you name a town after her? Okay, so they've got the guard captain and the crime scene investigation. The guard captain's going to be very annoyed at everything. Where the fuck can't we find things? And then the crime scene will be very much a crime scene. So I think we should start. I'm going to kill the music. Music is killed. I don't have the fancy thing that Madame Gandalf has, you know. I want one of them. So I'll just do it myself. Apparently I left on the music from last time. I didn't even notice. So we've got floating ice castle going on in the background. There's not going to be any ice this time, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm also going to get rid of the abandoned attack, the rhyme will attack, the travel to the beach, the start of the Void Realm and the Burnt Spirit, because I don't need any of them. But what I will do is I will keep in Carpe Diem, because I actually use this as my sound test. When I've got people into stream, I'm like, hey guys, we're going to play some music. How loud is this for you? You can adjust it over here. And the way that I adjust music, if you do this, if you use Roll20 music and you find that you're always constantly doing this to adjust every single track so that it sounds right, okay? 100, you're killing the music. JK, it's for your really sweet accents. Oh, thank you, Castle McLydia. You are so welcome, you know? Thank you. Oh. Okay, so I use this as my sound test. So what I do on the sound test is I go to everyone and I say, okay, in my settings, which is the cog on the top right, beneath your name, you can find the master music volume level. Now, put it down a little bit. I'm going to turn some music on now at a medium level, and I'd like that to be comfortable so that you can hear it. In a moment, I'm going to turn it all the way up to full volume, and I would like you to adjust your master music volume slider so that you can still hear the music and the players around you. But it should be surprising. If it plays at this volume, I will need to speak louder to be heard over it, and there will be a shock. And then I put it back down again, and that is the track that I use to do it, because it's a nice, loud, bouncy track which doesn't give away any of the plots of any of the games, and also it's a really good way to make sure that everyone is hearing the music at the same level. It also lets them know that there is music in the game, because some people prefer to use real dice and they don't open Roll20 at all, and they will miss out on a lot of the experience. Now, when I'm actually going to find music, there are two places that you should check out. The first one is Tabletop Audio. If you don't have it already, I think that's the right link. We'll soon find out. So, the first one is Tabletop Audio. Go and check them out. They've got a donate button in the top right corner. Please hit it. Please go and send them some money, because if you enjoy the sound and theme of my D&D streams, and most D&D streams like that, actually, and probably most podcasts, you'll probably find that at least some of the music comes from here. They're a very large support for the industry, and if I didn't give them a big shout out and plead for you all to go and send the donation their way, it would be criminal of me. So please do consider going and giving them some support. So, Hypersleep, we don't want any of that. This is going to be a medieval town, so we're going to want to go for older things. Graveyard, I know there's wolves in that, so I'm not going to bother. Barovian Castle, also not entirely the theme we're going for. Not wrong, but not the theme we're going for. Elegant Dinner Party, let's have a quick listen to that. Ambience and minimal music. Near midnight, and Izzy's bus is going to come early. I already hate myself. Oh no. Oh, thank you, Drake. Hang on. I put my thing behind everything else, so you guys didn't see that properly. But Drake donates £11 to bring us exactly up to halfway for our 10 Gen Con stretch goal, with 3 days to go. Our month starts and ends on the 17th, because that's when I first went to thing. Also, everyone else, good night. I hope you like your package. My package? What have I done? How have I broken everything? Oh, I put the wrong thing up, that's why. Donate banner needs to go back down. That's the one that needs to come up. Okay. Okay. And then I'll fade that across, and now we'll be in the right place. Oh, that's for likes the villain. I was like, what are you sending me? Keep it PG-13. This actually has some potential. There's some people whispering in the background. Do you know what? That pompous dickhead. This is the High Alchemist, I think. You know? So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the Gilded Devil. We don't need him now. We're going to get rid of the Gilded Devil. We're going to go to the jukebox. The first one is Tabletop Audio. It's right there. She won a package from our channel tonight. I'll send you a package. No, you don't have to send me a package. Don't send me a package. It's fine. I was joking. Very much appreciated, though. So, we are looking for Elegant Dinner Party. Elegant Dinner Party. We'll find it. Elegant dinner party, there it is. Added in. That's going to be for High Alchemist. Mummy's Tomb, Hermit Heart. I don't need any of that. Let's show the player. Let's turn that down a little bit so it's in the background a little bit more. And let's go and look for the next track that we're going to use to set some scenes. So we're looking for the guard captain. We want something for the guard captain. What do you need? Can't find a fucking thing. Waiting time. I never really find a use for this one. Nah, it's just too weird. I rarely get to use it because it's you know. Anyway, existential dread. Existential dread. Nope. There's sirens in it. No good, there's sirens in it. Spire, the Hatchery. I never listened to these really, the Spire ones. Nope. The Ministry, nope. Derelictus, a rundown sump of a place riddled with poverty and black magic, under home to the downtrodden Dark Elves. Do you know what? I actually quite like that. Yeah! Oh, yeah, I'll give you some more tips in a minute. I'll do that, because I was doing that earlier with the devil. You can literally go to the compendium here. You cut, it's not just spells, you can do it with weapons as well. If you go short sword, let's go and grab a character sheet. Let's go for someone that's not been in the game for a while. Someone maybe unlikely to come back. I don't know. Oh, that's a difficult thing to say. Who's not going to come back? I don't want to put in a person that I'm doing that. But if they're in the SRD, you can indeed. Let's go to the character sheet. This is a spellcaster, so I can do this. It's just a standard mage. You can go into there and you can go, hey, mage, have a short sword, and they will gain a short sword. That's a bad example because what I've done there is I've chosen an example, but you can do it with spells on the NPCs, and you can do it with characters. Like, probably Frank. Dr. Frank. Yeah, it won't hurt if we just delete his sword for 2 seconds. So he's got his short sword there. Let's just delete that. You can do exactly the same thing with the compendium. You just type in short sword. Oh look, short sword +1. Boom. There we go. He's got a short sword now. Oh, this is my example thing. This is the person I make for examples. Another thing that's very useful, especially if you're a streamer, is popping out this. When you double click on that, it pops out the chat window. So you can move it around. And I use a little bit of code called always on top. That lets me pin it on top of things, so I can leave it on top. I can click on this window and it doesn't put it behind. And when you close it, it goes back into there. There you go. All the tips. All the tips. Anyway, let's get rid of all of these because we don't want to. But the Spire Derelictus, I did like that one. So let's go and find the Spire Derelictus. Now, Spire is easy to find because they're in like a big block where it just says Spire for half an hour. There you go, Spire Derelictus. There it is. I'm thinking that'll be city. Miserable city. City U. Enter. There we go. Excuse me. What else do we want? What else do we want? What else do we want? We've got Annie, who's going to be quite nice to talk to. Imagine we'll go and get some special music for her. I still want something creepy for the devil, you know. Lonesome West isn't going to cut it. Rivertown's not going to cut it. Vampire's Castle, definitely not. I've listened to that one a few times. It's just a bit too... Cavern of Lost Souls, also no. Lost Mine, no. They're just too wet. That's too modern. Windset Plains is just too plain. Arabesque is great if you're doing devil things. Everyone. If you've listened to a desert game, I'll almost guarantee you they have used Arabesque at some point in the beginning. I also found these really great art assets for making notice boards. It's great, perfect for an open world campaign, for giving them a visual on quests, or just for flavouring or plot-driven game. Yeah. Do you ever pop out the jukebox as well? I accidentally found that one out the other day. No, I don't. Generally because I don't show the jukebox. The main reason that I pop this out is because it makes it a separate window, which I can then put into OBS. Whereas I actually don't really have any need to pop out the jukebox, you know? I suppose I could put it somewhere, but I think things would just start to get too cluttered if I did that. So I generally leave it in there. I'm a big fan of Incompetech. We will be shouting them out and going through their stuff very, very soon. Because, yes, Incompetech is amazing. Yeah, we'll get to that, though. I still want something creepy for background music, you know? Dungeon Mechanical. That might actually work for a Gem Cutters. How creepy is it? It's close. Just not close enough. Dark City. Too much music. Nightmare! Okay, yes. What I'll show you guys as well is how I layer up sounds to make them more freaky. Because that's another thing that I do a fair amount. So, Nightmare. You seem quite an old one, so you'd probably be quite near the top, I imagine. Like, you find the newer stuff is at the bottom. Generally. Well, I've just found Dark City in that. You know what, I think I might have missed it. Okay. Try again. With a Nightmare. I'd be wrong. I might not have missed it, but usually these are sort of like in the opposite order than you would expect. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it is somewhere. Nightmare. It was actually surprisingly in the middle. I use Dark City for my dungeon crawl. It's a good one. Yeah, it's, you know, it's good. It's just not Carling. That's an English advert for a beer where you know, like someone does something like, I don't know, they'll like jump out a window and save a granny from a armed robber and, you know, disarm them and save the day and everything, and then, you know, turn around and they're at the pub with their mates, and their mates will be like, yeah, it's good, but it's not Carling, and hold up a pint of Carling. Like, good day, good sir. Hello, Toxic Joe. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on board. So this is the Devil's Chamber. Carling, it's a beer. It's a UK beer. It's a lager brewed in the UK. There you go. Is there anything else I can use from this is the question. Is there anything else? If there's something quite chipper or gem crafty for Annie, I would like that, because I think the scene with Annie is going to be quite nice, you know? Nope. Telephone rings, that's a no. Nope, electricity. Terror, maybe. I've already got one of them though. I'm quite happy with Nightmare. You know, I don't need to overkill it. We have it here in Canada. Oh, awesome. Honestly, I found the Snowball Ice microphones for tabletop audio are great and aren't too expensive. Huh? I mean, I'm sure they are. I actually use an Audio-Technica AT2020 mic, condenser mic. If I was to go for another one, I'd probably go for a directional mic. There's some streamers that I watch that there are some streamers that I watch that oh, please don't get Lindy started on Canada. Lindy does a Canadian accent on one of her streams. I can't even try and do it justice. She does a real no, she does a real no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. She does like a proper thingy. 80-20-20. Do you know what, Lindy? I love it, but I find that when I'm quiet, it picks up too much noise. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I start turning up the gain here, I'm sorry if I deafen any of you, I'll try and keep it under wraps. But when I turn this up, I find, like, just things I'm doing around, they're, it's just too loud. Do you know what I mean? There's a pair of streamers who I really love to watch. Their name is Fremily. You should go and check them out. They're actually quite big. They're often on the front page and things. And I've often looked at their setup for inspiration. Because what they do is they sit right next to each other at a desk. Mine's USB as well. Do you have to phantom power it? Do you need to put it for a drive?
Looks like we got a new friend!
Greyhawk channel's raiding with a party of 35. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the prep scene. We are just currently building up to making essentially. Okay, let's give you the rundown. Okay, we were looking at the welcome everyone. Drunken Geekery is a new follower. Thank you very much for your follow. The salute is not mine. I don't know where I picked that up from, but it felt natural at the time. We're preparing a one-shot from a module by KoboldPress called Hell Comes a Glittering. Okay, essentially the rundown is our players are going to be investigating a murder that a gilded demon and a gem cutter are behind. So we've got a scene at the beginning. We've got 15 minutes with the mayor at the beginning. We've got half an hour of half an hour we're going to spend one day investigating where they can question the guard captain, go to a crime scene investigation. Then we've got day 2, which is the first day that the alchemist will be available, and the alchemist will give them the crucial information that points them towards the gem cutters guild hall, and then Annie, who I haven't noted down yet. But I'm looking forward to playing with Annie. Annie's going to be great. Then, about halfway through the stream, we're going to send them to the place. Thank you for the follow, 12-sided guy. You guys, thank you so much for the follows. We're going to send them to the scene of the murderer, where the lair is of this demon. Thank you, Nebtu, as well for the follow. Where they will basically run downstairs. There'll be a gilded devil with 6 hearts that have been crystallized. It's going to be great. So we're just currently building the scene, which is why there's all this horror music going on in the background. Zytech2K2, thank you so much for the follow and welcome. So what we're currently looking for is something actually a little bit more upbeat. I use this one a lot. I don't even know why I clicked on it, to be honest, because I'm not going to use it in this case. I'm actually looking for something a bit more upbeat. What I might have to do actually is I might end up using the same dim thing, but just uplift it a little bit with some music from Incompetech. Pat M514, welcome to the stream. Time for me to bounce. Well, okay, thank you so much for popping in. Guys, welcome. We DM over on the, I DM over on the Greyhawk channel on Fridays at 1 PM. You should check it out. I don't know if Shane uploads everything to YouTube, but I assume he does. It's worth a look. It's good. Got some amazing players over there. I just turned one of them into a vampire. It's good fun. Oh, House on the Hill. I was actually thinking of this one earlier for a horror scene. A CSI type thing. I love this. My character is a city guard investigator, thief taker background. So this sounds so cool. Yeah, it's a module from the KoboldPress. So if you want to check it out, it's the Prepared 2 module from KoboldPress. Bye, friendo. Hi, bye. Polar Bear Cave Dew. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, no, there's too much ambience going on in this one. I really did like something, happy. You know, a little happier for her shop. What I'll probably end up doing is using the same depressing city sound that I've got from earlier and uplifting it. Yeah, I can't find anything. So, the next place that you guys need to check out is... If I can type. Okay, anyway, let's go and type it out first and then copy it, paste it across. That'd be a lot easier. Incompetech, there we go. I like KoboldPress a lot. I've got their Tome of Beasts. It's huge. I had a chance to look at that when I was visiting tour school. That didn't work. Why didn't you work? No, it worked. It's because I'd already put in a HTTP. My bad. So, we're going to go over to Incompetech. Now, what I'm going to have to also do is turn the mixer down. Because if I leave this one, unfortunately, the built-in web player, it doesn't have volume control like tabletop audio does. So I'm going to need to turn it down for risk of deafening you all. But what it does have, which is far superior, and please, again, this is another website that is totally run for free. And if you like any streams which involve any streams, podcasts, or anything which use music and they do TTRPGs, likelihood is they probably use music from here. So please do, especially I know I do use a lot of it. Please do go and support them. Okay, go and put in some 2-bits in there because I already know exactly what one of my scenes is going to be. In fact, I don't even need to look it up. What we're going to do is we're going to go straight there. We're going to go to Incompetech. It's called Guess Who. Ready? This is my gilded thing. He's so smarmy and shit, you know? That's going in. So that's the gilded demon. Devil. Important to know your difference between your devils. Between your devils and your demons. Anyway, but what this does have is it has a feels category. So you can sort your things by feel. So I was saying that I was saying that I want something happy, so let's go for something bright, maybe a little bit bouncy. Do we want it humorous? Maybe not, but relaxed? Yeah, let's try that. That sounds good. And it gives us some examples that we can listen to. Too Christmassy. Probably should have got that from the Noel. Maybe a little too upbeat, but it's along the right sort of like thing. Lindy is so talented. I know for a fact that she also does like dancing and stuff, like proper dancing. Again, all of you raiders, thank you so much for coming here and thank you so much for your follows. But now, let me go and get you to go and follow Lindy, because if you don't know Lindy already, she's amazing. Our crazies match, I think. Great things haven't worked together, like Johnny Depp. See, good thing I listened to this, because... No. Ooh. Johnny Depp. Because, you know, squids sometimes like to suck you off the edge of the world. It's probably because they've got all of them things for sucking, you know, all the suckers. And you don't really get pulled off the edge very much in the middle of the ocean because, you know, it's hard to be sucked off in the middle of the ocean. You know. That's Johnny Depp in a nutshell. Or just Lindy's mind. Either way. Might I suggest Erdenstern? You can find them on Bandcamp as well as elsewhere. Their intro, particularly for TTRPG music. I tend to stick to these two because they're already in the jukebox. Is there any easy way to add them in? Because, you know. This is nice, actually. Teddy Bear Waltz. I'm gonna remember Teddy Bear Waltz because, you know. That's a halfling shindig if I ever heard one. Funnily enough, she is a halfling as well, Annie. Annie, hey, yeah, she's a halfling, and she just wants to help people out. Yeah, I mean, like, if you create a Fanburst account, you can put stuff in across yourself manually, but effort, you know. Cherry Monday, it's all right, but it's not as good as the teddy bear thing. That's a bit too daring. I think they'll start to suspect her if I use that. Not the right feel at all. Also not. No, also not. 2 grand. Too big. Oh, that's surprisingly sultry. I'm gonna remember that one. Fuck yeah, Riverdance, bring it back. So, Teddy Bear Waltz, let's get that in there. The other nice thing about Incompetech in here is you can actually just look things up, which is amazing. Annie's shop. There we go. So, we've got Annie, the jewel maker, we've got Tom, the green. Okay, so let's go through things. Do I want something a bit strange upstairs? I might add things. So other things that I use, just like standard things, I use very low a lot. Very low note I use a lot, and I duplicate it because there's a gap in the middle. Gem Song, thank you so much, Gene. Have a good night. Sleep well. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Other Doc as well. Go pass out for the night. Have a great evening, you guys. I hope you have a good night's sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow. What else do I like to use? I like to use the long notes, and I like to use long note 1 particularly. I like to use long note 4 because it has a shock in the middle. You know, it's a really long. If it was just like, do you know what? If I could, I would cut it and just have this bit. But at the moment, you can learn the amount of time it takes to pace that and have that come in because it's a nice moment for people. But you can't overuse it. I'm actually putting myself on a break for it because I overused it. So, yeah. Long note 1, though. I like to use that a lot. It's got a low note in it. And it's got, like, the nice eerie feels. The thing I like about this one is... So, the thing I like about that one is the builds. Okay, so, here's what we do. Sound test. Sound test is there. Also, I've turned all the sound down, so we'll turn it back up again now. Because now we can actually play with things. So... we start off in a miserable city. That's where we start. Fades in softly. An instrumental of Scarborough's Fair would be cool, but then it's copyright hard. Yeah, well that's the other nice thing about these websites is they're completely copyright free, you know? Do I tie the boss music to the intro? Probably not. I could tie maybe Annie's shop or something to it. I'll probably leave it like this, to be fair. I'll probably leave it like this, okay? So we'd have the intro, the mayor's telling them things, then they need to go and speak to the guard captain. The guard captain's like, I just can't figure it out. No matter where I look, I can't see a goddamn thing. They have their hearts cut out, everything's been turned to fucking crystals, there's nothing around it. It looks like the heart's been cut out by an expert, but the stabbing's been done by an absolute amateur. I can't get my head around it. Look, if you want to look at the bodies, go and help yourself. Here's the key to the morgue. And away they'll go. And then they've got all of this stuff in the prepared module about looking at the bodies. There's a whole thing here. So, you know, I'll do these rolls and things and I'll let them go through it. I'll tell them at the beginning that they've got 30 minutes per day. Okay? And then day 2... they will go and visit the High Alchemist. So what I'll do is I'll fade out the miserable city when we get to the High Alchemist, and I'll bring in the High Alchemist music. And, you know, he's going to be very... Well, I can't help you at all, I'm afraid. The mayor slighted me some time ago, and I refuse to be part of any investigation that he wishes to undertake. If you want information, you'll have to go and ask one of the apprentices, though they don't really know anything. They use the scrubs. Mostly they know how to make tea. Arsehole. Can't wait to play him. But if they roll a high persuasion, or they go and get the mayor to apologize, well, I suppose I can give you some information. Kyanite is incredibly hard to manufacture. Yes, it's prized for its ability to store energy, but to be able to sufficiently cut it, one would have to have a lot of skill in gem cutting. I suggest you go to the Gem Cutters Guild Hall and speak to Argus, the guild leader there. He may have more information for you. Though, I would make an appointment unlike you did for me. Fucking wanker. I already hate this NPC, you know, I love making NPCs that I hate. So then they go to the... hello, yeah, I'm Argus. Yeah, no, I'll try and help you out. You know, so, Kyanite, you need, which city is this taking place in? Let's call it Loffenbruin. Doesn't matter. Any city. Any city. A city. Somewhere up north, probably near the Highland Reaches or something, because we've got a lot of Scottish voices here. No, Argus, he's going to say, oh, Kyanite, you want to know about Kyanite? I guess that's in relation to the murders, what have been going around, you know? Kyanite, we don't really do any work of it here. Occasionally we'll have a big order come through for, like, the High Alchemist or something like that, but it's been absolutely years, so I doubt we'll have anything coming anytime soon either. They tend to be really purpose-built jobs, like when they built that spire, the mining spire way down south. Nothing going on at the moment, though. If you're looking for someone who's got the skill to kit it, I know none of my boys will be doing it, but if you want to go and check it out, I reckon you should go to maybe one of the jewel crafters. Perhaps you could go to either one of them shops down there, the Emerald Dove, or even Kendron's Fine Works, maybe. I'd start at the Emerald Dove. They're more likely. They've probably got someone there who's skilled enough to cut that sort of diamond. But you know, Kendron's Fine Works. They do good works, but mostly in jewelry, not so much in gem cutting. You know, they're better at forging metals than anything else. Probably worth giving both a check out, though. Which will lead our adventurers to Annie at the Emerald Dove. Oh, hi, Ken. We're not playing marbles. So in Annie's shop, things will go back to the miserable city because they're going to have to travel. It will fade out from the alchemist. We'll probably fade out from the alchemist before that, actually. I might put in a tavern, actually, for speaking to Argus. I feel like Argus needs a tavern. You know what I mean? Perhaps the Slaughtered Ox. That usually sounds pretty good. You know what I mean? We'll get the Slaughtered Ox. That's a pretty good one. Speaking to Argus. Not Argud, Argus. And we'll pull that up so Argus is below the High Alchemist. And next we want Annie's shop, because that's where we're going to go next. So from there, we're going to stay in the miserable city. But we've got Argus. Oh, you're supposed to be hearing the tabletop audio from the jukebox. Yeah, just about. Turn it up a little bit if you need it. I did fiddle with it earlier when I was talking about, here's how you change things around. So, we've got Argus there in the miserable city, but he's got people around him. We'll make that a bit louder so that people can actually hear what's going on while we're speaking to Argus. Then we fade Argus out. They go back across to the next place. Ah, 12-sided guy can hear it, so never mind. And then we go across to Annie's shop. Hello, can I help you at all? No, I'll try and help you out. So, what are you looking for? You're looking for maybe jewellery, or perhaps you want me to try and, you know, I could appraise some of the jewellery you've already got. If that's what you're looking, I can give you a price for it, let you know how much it's worth. That, or I can sell you some jewellery. I've got some fine pieces that I make all myself, you know. So, you know, if you need anything, please just let me know. Step up to the counter, or help yourself if you want to take a look around, and help yourself out. And then they'll question her, and she will essentially reveal nothing. But what I will try and do is be like, oh, well, can I tempt you to some of my pieces? You know, they're not magical, but they're very pretty, and you know, they're very nice. And I'm quite cheap compared to some of the other jewel makers in the main city. And I'll try and guilt trip the players into buying some jewelry because the Gilded Demon will make use of it later. Or, and if I don't need to guilt trip them, I'll at least find out how much their jewelry is worth so that they will show Annie their jewelry. One way or another, I'll figure out if the adventurers are going to have jewelry for that last fight. I'm setting them up for a fall, essentially. Anyway, when we come out of Annie's shop, it all fades away. And Annie's gone. Now we're back out in the miserable city, and we start heading towards the Gilded Devil. Now the first thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start up with the very low notes. The very low notes, they sit under. Ah! You'll see they are magically delicious in that accent. I'll bring in the low notes. I don't know if you guys can hear it yet, but I'll bring it up slowly. And I'll bring it up slowly because it just builds tension. It's just bass. It's just bass. Okay? But it adds tension. If I get rid of the miserable city, you can just hear that bass in the background. I've doubled it up so that there's a gap in the middle. Like, oh, hang on a minute. That's long note. I'm a very low note. I've doubled it up because there's a gap in the middle. So with the gap in the middle, one will fade out, the other one will fade in, and when things are going, you know, they'll be able to hear it. They'll just hear this tension. I'm going to bed now, but I'm going to lurk. Good night, Gemsong. Thank you very much for the lurk. It does help. I suppose at some point we should start pushing for partner, and every viewer does help. So thank you. There's the gap. You've heard it. So I haven't done that very well. It's probably because I did the wrong one. So I'll stop that for a minute. I'll give it about another 20 seconds. And there we go. Now we've got a low bass that will just sit behind things. And I'll bring it up slowly so they don't notice. But what they'll feel is tension. Now, when they start looking around the shop, I'll bring in the long note 1, which is where you get the high notes coming in. Suddenly, this miserable city sounds less miserable city and more terrifying, just by adding some bass and the occasional high note, which I hope will come in soon. There it is, as if on cue. Then, we have, we don't need any shop or anything like that. Now we can bring in the Devil's Chamber. We've got enough noise going on now that we can safely bring that in, which is our horror thing, and slowly reduce the city. I'm doing this fast to give you an example, but what we'll essentially do is we'll get rid of the city sounds, we'll bring in these horror sounds instead, and this will put everyone on edge. Then, when we get downstairs, I fade out the long note 1, which is the high, very eerie, leave in the low bass in this eerie, and then we have our Gilded Devil, who's going to try and make them a deal. I haven't worked out my Gilded Devil voice yet. Hello. Yeah. No, I am the Gilded Devil, and I think that you should leave. Leave us alone, at least. Now, I have a great deal of wealth at my disposal. That one actually needs to come up a little bit. That is the one thing. These are often at different volumes in the background, so you need to build things up a little. Now, I have these items which I have taken from the city. Let my assistant and I go. And I will spare you for a start. Next, I will leave. I will take half of the stones and you may have the other half. I'm changing the thing as well. In the module it says that he'll let them have all 6. But fuck that. He's just had like 1 person a week. That's 6 weeks worth of work. He'll... I better fill a gold against your soul because I'm better than you. Well, the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a sword to steal. Anyway. Now, yes. I will give you 3 of these items. Now, they are worth around... Let's see, there are 6 of them. So I'm going to make them actually worth 6,000 gold pieces rather than 5,000 gold pieces because that makes the maths easier. These are worth 1,000 gold pieces each. I will let you keep 3 of them. And I will take 3 of them. And then I will leave with my associate. We'll go to another city and another plane far away. Will no longer be your problem. And there is no need for us to fight, and there is no need for us to kill you. Yes. Yes. I have been aware of your little investigation over the last 2 days. I did hire some assassins to try and take you out. I will, of course, also call them off. So long, I'll send the message to them as soon as possible, of course. So don't tarry. Let us go, and we will no longer be your problem. Now the group has 2 choices, and I'm prepared for either. They can either say, "Hey, no, you're a fucking demon and you're killing people. We're gonna kill you." And then we've got enough time at the end to either kill them or have them kill it and then still have a wrap-up. Or, if they leave, the Bearded Devils jump them. The Bearded Devils jump them. The Devil just doesn't have time. He was being honest, but he just doesn't have time to communicate to the Bearded Devils not to jump them. But he does give them a warning. So they'll know about it at least. It's not like they'll be like, "God damn it." Then they have half an hour to figure out what they're going to do with the hearts. Because what are they going to tell the guild captain, you know? Yeah. So... check something out. Oh, god damn it, I haven't looked at Twitter for a while. It's going mad. We'll look at that in a moment. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sorry, I'm just retweeting. Alice is on the internet. I love my baby girl. Anyway. Doesn't Sirenscape work on Roll20? No idea what that is. Rock and Ruffle! So happy to see a D&D streamer who spends time on Roll20's jukebox. As a DM, I agonize over music selection. Cheers. It's important, right? You've got to build these themes properly. Now, what we haven't got yet is we haven't got fight music. And I think I know what I want already. I think I already know what I want. Again, if you like the music that you hear in a lot of Roll20 campaigns, that you like in a lot of podcasts and streams that use music, I can guarantee you 80% of them use this website. So please go and hit that donate button if you enjoy it. I already know what I want. I want the dark, eerie, intense, unlight. That's the one. So, you want to fight instead? Come then. There it is. We're fighting. You know, that's very much fighting music. So. Let's go and get that. Unlike. Where do we put that? Where do we put that? Where do we put that? I want to build the tension with these, so we'll put these above the above the Devil's Chamber, because the Gilded Devil comes below that, and we'll put that there below that. And now, oh, were you fighting? I couldn't tell. and then, yeah, we have that coming in. You know, like So you refuse my offer? Well then, I guess we must fight. He pulls a large flail from his pocket. Come at me. Too quiet. Louder, louder, louder. What's up, Chorus? If you look up even music, it has some very creepy ambience and have rumbling in the background. Very unsettling. On Fanburst. I don't use Fanburst very often, actually. But I think I'm fairly happy with where we are. Let's go through it one more time for those of you who have just joined. So, We start off with our sound test, which we love. That's great. We start off with the mayor, who gives them information about this miserable city. The miserable city. There's people, you know, a bit loud. On that very backgroundy. It tells them there's 1,000 gold pieces. There's 6 people been murdered. Each of them's been stabbed. Their heart's been moved. Their organs have been turned to crystals, but their hearts are missing. Yada yada yada. And then we go and speak to the guard captain. The guard captain's very annoyed. Can't figure out a goddamn thing about it. And he'll tell them as much as he can, which is also in the module, and say, yeah, if you want to go and investigate the bodies. I got no problem with that. Go and have a look. And they'll go and have a look at the bodies. Now, the High Alchemist is an absolute knob, so when we go and visit him, we'll start up that music and we'll fade out the city. I did that very quickly, but in the game I'll do it a lot slower. This is just for example. And he'll be like, so I'm glad you could finally come. Now you've made an appointment. However, I'm afraid there's not much I can do for you. The mayor slighted me some time ago, and I refused to be here helping in any of his investigations. And, you know, eventually they can either persuade him or got the mayor to, you know... This might be a sticking point, actually. Because, you know... This might be a sticking point, because they might decide that he is so much of a dick that they just don't want to speak to him anymore. In which case, they'll go back to the guard captain, and the guard captain will have had a source of inspiration. And he'll be like, hey, I know. What I can do, because they're turning into crystals, right? Well, we can go and speak to the gem cutters. They deal with crystals all the time. I believe the guildmaster down there is called Argus. Oh, I will tell them that the guildmaster is called Argus. It doesn't really matter. Either way, we'll get them on day 2 to go to the Gem Cutters Guild and visit Annie. Now, we'll give them 30 minutes per session. We fade out the High Alchemist to bring back in the miserable city. But this time, we add, speaking to Argus, the sound of the... in fact, I might even turn that down. Actually, I might just go... Yeah, we'll use that as going through. Man, those voices, I'm jealous of those. Now, Argus, nay. Alright, well, I can try and help you out. Kyanite, you say? Well, or have you got one of the eyes? Let's have a look at it. Yeah, this is Kyanite. No, it's Kyanite. Very hard to cut. You need to have a real skilled hand to cut Kyanite. And this hasn't been cut too. Although, actually, I can have a look at the bodies for you, and if they want, they can take him back to look at the bodies, and he'll be like, oh no, the heart's been expertly removed. This is the work of a fine craftsman removing this. This has been very delicately done. And the guard captain, what do you mean it's been delicately done? The body was stabbed to death like a I don't know, like a rough side of beef. Well, there's no caretaking in it at all. I can tell that, but when you're looking at the actual heart, the removal, the hearts, they've taken care. They've taken time over this. If you say so. And that will lead them. If I were you, I'd go and ask some of the jewel crafters and jewelry makers around the city, because they will. I think there's one called the Emerald Dove. The Emerald Dove and the what's the name of it? It's a place I don't use very often. They've not got very good cutters down there. Kendron's Fine Works. Now I'd start at the Emerald Dove about finding out things, because they've actually got people who can cut a gem worth a damn. Whereas Kendron's Fine Works, they tend to work more in setting, like making rings and that sort of thing. You'll find your proper gem cutters. Annie down there, she used to be my apprentice. She's very good. And when they get to Annie, Annie's like, oh, I can kind of give you a hand, So would you like to look around? We've got all these fine works. And when we go to Annie's, we fade out this. We go back to the city. Fade out that. We go back to the city. Once we're through the city, we leave that a little bit quieter. And we start up Annie's shop. Hey, how can I help you? Come on, have a look around. Now, we've got all sorts of gems and jewellery. If you've got any items that you want to have appraised, I can have a look at them for you, and I can work out how much they're worth. And if you're interested in buying any jewelry, then have a look in all the display cabinets. If you see anything that catches your eye, have a look. We do very cheap prices. We've actually got a sale on at the moment. I've only just started up this business. I've only been in it a month, and we're doing very well, but every little helps, and I'd really appreciate it if you could find something that you like. And I tell you what, I'll try and do you a special deal, and if I can be any help with your investigation, which you're just telling me about, then I'll try my very best, but I'm afraid I don't know very much about it. I mean, Kendrin's Fine Works is the only other place, and they had this apprentice, Jelfie. She started off here, but you know what? She was actually just a really shitty person. She just, you know, there was no skill to her. She was spiteful all the time, and I'm fairly sure on the day before she left, she stole my lapidary. So if she's got my book on lapidary, you know, that's actually a very wealthy book. That's worth a lot of money, that book, and I'd appreciate it if you could get it back for me if she has got it, you know, just in passing while you're looking. Anyway, we leave Annie's shop. And they go to Kendrin's Fine Works. The door's locked. They have to break their way in. Enter the tension. I won't bring it in that quick. I'll scale it up gently. But suddenly the city sounds quite ominous, no? I do too, because I don't want the break in the middle to break up the thing too much. That might be too quick because I'm doing a demonstration. It'll be fine. While they're looking around this top level of the shop, I'll also bring in this, which will have some high notes on it, but eventually what I will do is I'll use this to remove the sounds of the miserable city, and I will bring in the sounds of the underground. I'll bring in the sounds of the devil's chamber. There's the high notes there. Really stringing out the tension. But I'll bring this up, so I'm just going to bring it up quickly for now, but I'll bring this up slowly, so you've got that sort of horror sound in the background as well. And I'll fade that out slowly when they go downstairs. And then they meet a man lounging, as Jelfie runs downstairs, if she runs downstairs. Oh, so you came at last, have you? Well, I've been seeing you. Rock and Ruffle, thank you very much for the follow. I've seen you looking around investigating my little works going on in this city. And I must say, it displeases me, but I'm willing to cut you a deal. I don't want to break you from this mortal coil. No, I am slightly disappointed in Jelfie for not coming down here or not being strong enough to kill you herself. You see, we had a deal, me and Jelfie. She would slay one person a week and bring me their crystallized heart using an ancient rite. And I would provide her the skills to become the most amazing gem crafter in all the city. She took to it like a duck to water. You know, and we're going like that. Now they have a choice at this point. They can either take his deal, and he will say, well, look, I have 6 of these hearts. I will go to another city and another plane. I will no longer be your problem ever. For this, I will give you 3 hearts. They are worth 1,000 gold pieces each. I will leave. Jelfie will leave with me. And you don't need to, you don't need to think about me at all. Or they can say, no, you're a demon. Screw you. We're going to kill you, demon. And kill your friend too, because you're murderers. And he will be like, oh, really? Well, I'm very disappointed to hear that. However, if you wish to fight me, then fucking bring it. Need to work on my dramatic pause for that. Let's do that again, shall we? I am very disappointed that you are not interested in my offer. However, if we must fight, then fucking bring it. There it is. That's in time as well. And yeah, he's a powerful person, so he'll kill him. Possibly. He might not kill them. They might win. They might win out. But that is it. That is me prepped. That is me ready. Like you see, I've got my intro, I've got my 5 encounters. Oh, if they decide to let the devil go, then the bearded devils will attack them, which he arranged to assassinate them. And then at the end, what do they do with the hearts? You know, do they give it back to the? Do they? Even if they kill it, what do they do with the hearts? You know, do they keep them and try and sell them? Do they, you know, take them back to the guard captain as evidence, and the guard captain puts them back with the bodies, I guess, to bury them? You know, they've got options at that point. Anyway, what we're going to do now, guys, is someone asked earlier if I could do a stream about how I set up OBS, my OBS scenes, okay? So I want to do this like a YouTube video. So I'm going to get rid of this camera here, okay? I'm going to move my screens around a little bit. Then throw them in the ocean like the old lady at the end of the Titanic. I'm going to move the screens around a little bit so that I can show you my OBS as we're working on it. And I'll show you how I prep a stream, okay? We'll do it like that. Yeah, I know exactly what scene we'll set up as well, because I deleted it, so I can show you how I set up the Wizards and Wardrobes from last season. Because that's all my content anyway, and we can do that. Good night, Chorus, have a great night. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Now, when I do this, I'm going to close the stream off. We'll be gone for maybe 5-10 minutes. And then we will... Here we go, the old TSR audio adventures by Miss Deer and such. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this camera. I'm going to move things around a little bit, and I will show you how I would build a scene ready for streaming a TTRPG, and we will do that. It'll be fine, Jadzar. We will do that in around 5-10 minutes. I'm going to move things across, and yeah. It'd be awesome. So, guys, hang around. It'll literally be 5 minutes. We'll do it like a YouTube video. When I come back, I'm not going to interact with chat, okay? I'm going to do it like a YouTube video. Sheena, if you're up for sticking around, and if you could repeat that a few times in chat to people, because I know people are going to want to come in and want to interact. I'd appreciate it if you stuck around and just explained that I'm not going to interact with chat because I'm making a YouTube video. That'd be great. If, of course, you can. You don't have to. You're not obliged to in any way. Cool. So, yeah, let's do that. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Love you all. See you shortly.